Okay, this video, as promised, we're going to look at some more things that you can check for, evaluate with an if statement, with an if-then statement. Now, to do this, we're going to look back at our password program that created, I believe, 2 videos ago, and this time we're going to add a username and get Python to give us a different answer, print a different line, when we get the username right, the password right, and both wrong. Now, first thing, we have to create a new variable with the username. So, username is equal to input. We want the user to be able to input the username. Please enter your username. Actually, we're going to put this before the password. More conventional, I believe. Control C, Control V. Username, and the username correct will be um hmm Bob. Yep, definitely. So the correct username is Bob and the correct password is Newton. So when somebody types in both Bob for username and Newton for password, they will be logged in. If they only get the username right and the password wrong, they will be told that the password is wrong. If they get the username wrong but the password right, they will be told that the username is wrong. Now, to do this, we have to check for two different things at the same time in one if statement. Because if password is correct, then the username may still be wrong. So we have to check if the password is correct and if the username is correct. We do this by using the simple syntax or simple words from our English language. To log in, you'll have to get the password right and the username right. So if password is equivalent or the same as password correct and username is equal to username correct, then print you have been logged in. So Python will check for the password, see if the password entered by the user is the same as the password that is given as correct here. It will see whether the username inputted by the user is the same as the correct username. Then, if both of these things are true, it will print you have been logged in. Now, else if the password, okay, let us just delete this line. We don't need this line anymore. We don't need this either. Now, what we want to be able to do is input the right username but the wrong password, and then have Python tell us that we got the username right but the password wrong. So, if password is password correct, then print, oops, sorry. Okay, I'll leave it like this. Then print you have been logged in. Now, actually, this will not give the proper result, what I've just written. I'll show you, I'll execute this, I'll show you why, and then we can, well, correct it. If I execute this program, please enter your username. Let's go with Bob, because that's the right, and the password was Newton. Now, okay, what has happened? Why has this printed twice? Well, the first condition, if password is correct, it was. If username is correct, it was. So it printed this. Then another if statement. If the password was correct, then it printed logged in. So it printed it twice because both of these were correct. That is why we have to use the else if. The elif statement. Whoops. Because doing this, the elif will only execute if this has not already been executed. So let us save this, execute it once more, Bob, Newton, and we only get one line. Password was right, username was right, therefore this was printed. Since this was already true, then this is ignored. This is why the else if function, written as elif, is so important, because only one of the if or else if code blocks can be, one of them only can be true. The rest are skipped. So then, now we want to change the text. If the password is correct, now if the password is correct and the username does not equal to username correct, username does not equal to username correct, then we print incorrect username. And else if that's not the case, the password does not equal the password correct, and the username does equal the username correct, then we print incorrect password. This way, the user immediately knows whether he got the username wrong, or the password wrong. So, in this case, once more, if the password is correct and the username is wrong, well, it prints the username was wrong. If the password is wrong and the username is correct, then it'll print the password was wrong. Now, of course, we still have to add an option for what happens if both are wrong. So, else if password is not equal to password correct and username does not equal to username correct, then print you are all wrong. Everything's wrong. Username and password are both wrong. Now, let's just execute this a couple of times to see what this does. Please enter your username. Let's start off by giving the correct username and the correct password. Yep, we have been logged in. Let's go one more time. This time, we're going to enter the wrong username and the wrong password. You're all wrong. It sees that this is not true, this is not true, not true, but this is the case. Password is wrong and username is wrong. So this line of code is executed. Next up, right username, wrong password. Incorrect password. Well, thank you. And one last try. Correct username, incorrect password, incorrect password. So you can see that by using the AND, we can check multiple things. We can check whether multiple things are true or are equal or equivalent in order in order to execute some sort of block. Now, there's a few more operators like the AND, one of which I'm going to show you now. If we just want our program to tell the person that they have either the username or password wrong and don't want to give them specifics, we can do the following. We'll delete this for now. Now, so if the password does not equal the correct password and the username does not equal correct password, we will print all you're all wrong. But what would happen if the password does not equal the correct username or the username does not equal the correct username? Then we print that either the username or password is wrong. So if the password is wrong, then yes, either of these is correct. So either this or that. If one of them is wrong, then this will happen. And if the username is wrong, this will happen. So let us get the username right and the password wrong. Either the username or the password are wrong. Now, this time, let's get the username wrong and the password wrong. Now, again, it says either the username or the password is wrong because an OR is not exclusive. This means if this is wrong, if this is true, then this will automatically happen. Or if this is true, this will happen. So be careful when using an OR because it's not that only one of them can happen, but both of them can happen, but as soon as one of these things is true, this executes. Now, there are also a few ways to work with numbers. Um, there are a few different ways to work with numbers to evaluate them, and that's going to be in the next video, looking at whether a larger number is larger than something, smaller than something, equal to something, etc. I hope this was informative. Okay.